And we are live. Yay.
Yay.
Give people a chance to come in. Now, I didn't think to say there should be a comment screen, so you should be able to see comments. There's
great.
a delay with the comments, but
okay,
it starts to come up there.
This is cool. So can you use this for streaming into Facebook groups as well?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I've been using Zoom, so I'll have to check. I use Zoom, but then I have to go through OBS, another program with my Zoom, and so it'd be easier. And plus, I have to do it on my computer, so this would be a lot easier.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, I like this a lot. I have to say, it is fairly easy, and there is a paid part, like you can do a paid part, but I haven't all this I get so far without paying for it yet. There's little things that you can do if you pay for it too, but
okay.
All right. We're getting people on. Hi, Pat, Sonia, Christine, Joseph, Jolene, Bob, Ravenheart. What an awesome deck. Yay. I know. I agree. We're going to welcome Natalie on. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited. You have 6,000 subscribers. I saw a lot of subscribers. That's awesome.
Yeah, we I've been on for quite a few years now, and it starts off slow, and then once you get about 100 or so, it kind of exponentially grows a little bit from there. So
awesome. That's about what I have on my YouTube, but I only have 3 videos on there, just some funny stuff that I did, and I have about 120 people on there. If you want to subscribe to that
more after this,
it's
for your YouTube link.
It's just Tarot Mood. If you look up Tarot Mood on YouTube.
Beautiful. I'm sure one of my awesome admins will post that link for us.
Oh, you have admins.
I do. I have the best on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Yay. Hello. When is the book coming for the deck? You have a book
actually, we're thinking about that. I'm thinking for my next order, I might include a book, but I would have to write that, and that would probably take me about 6 months. So we'll see. I just ordered 1,000 more decks because I'm 30 away from being sold out at my first 1,000.
Oh, good. Well, let's try to sell you out.
Yeah. 30 just for you guys.
Yeah. I have to say, so those of you who did not watch my unboxing, we'll show a few cards, but this is, oh my goodness, this is just so right up my alley. If you see this deck, it is sarcastic and bitchy, and I just love it.
Thank you.
And we decided collectively as a group that, everybody needs this deck, especially right now with all this COVID shit. And
yes, you need a little humor in your life.
Absolutely. Make us laugh.
I think it's the only, I was going to say it's the only humor tarot deck out there, but there's arcane bullshit. But that's not really a tarot deck. If you've seen it, it's...
I have that one too, yep. And I love it, but yeah, it's not
tarot. Yeah.
Not one I would use actually for readings. And this, because it's based on our RWS, I would.
Right.
Get to laugh too. So what made you come up with this kind of a deck?
Well, actually, I was just learning. I've been doing tarot for 8 years, but it's a continuous learning process for each of us, being that it's an art form. Yeah, and I was on the line just trying to brush up, and I came across this video on YouTube. It's all 78 cards in 2 hours, and something about the way the guy read, the way the guy talked was just making funny stuff pop up in my head. And so I was taking screenshots of the cards because they would show the card as he talked about it, and then using the edit to write my funny thought down on there. And then I was like, what do I do with these things? They're cracking me up. I was totally stoned, but I was cracking up.
Some of the best ideas, right? Heck yeah.
So I joined. I wasn't even in any tarot like Facebook groups or anything like that. I joined some Facebook groups and it was like, "Are these funny?" And I thought I'd get kicked out right away, but I only got kicked out of one group, which was like tarot reader professionals. Obviously, that doesn't sound like the right group for me.
Whatever.
People are like, "Seriously, cocaine?" I'm like, "Yeah, cocaine. What? I don't know. What's the
Hello?
cocaine?
What?
Funny."
Have a
And
sense of humor.
yeah, and people were like, "You have to make my eyes water constantly during videos. Like every time I do a video, I'm like." um People every time people were like, "You should make a deck about this," and at first I was like, yeah, like at first I was just doing the cards that I thought were that caught me funny, and then I went through and did every single card, and then I did make a deck out of them, and I polished them up quite a bit. They were just, I mean, if you saw some of my originals, they're on my Instagram, my Tarot Mood Instagram. Down towards the bottom there's the original stuff that I made, and it was just like literally just like handwritten on there. And so yeah, I just got my crap together and put it all into a deck, and it was really hard to figure out how to make that a reality. I had to find a printer and
all the mundane blah.
yeah, it was that I enjoy that part because that's the
we should collaborate at some point.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I love the creative process part, but then it gets to the day-to-day mundane, and
well, the business part is the part that's making it happen, and that's what excites me.
That's true.
There's the artwork, which is fun in one way, but then the business side, and I think that my printer actually found me. They were like, they saw what I was doing. They're like, "We do printing," and they gave me, they were working with me really well. It's a team of women, and they were really nice and really helpful, and kind of took me under their wing and like walked me through the process. And so that part was fun for me. So
that's great. A team of women. That's
yeah.
awesome. In the States?
No, it is in China, unfortunately. Right now, I know everybody's mad at China.
Yeah, right. Well, how are you gonna be mad at them for having a disease first?
Oh, I know, but because they lied about it, I guess, and just because
that's the government.
it's just
if we
not
weren't
good.
done our government, we'd be in big trouble.
Well, and a lot of people say that because we should be supporting Americans first, but it's like, these are my friends. I want to support them, even though they're Chinese. I don't care that they don't live in my country, like I know, like that's how I look at it. So.
Absolutely. Now, I have to say that is one of the things I like about this deck too, because there aren't many cards. At first, I think, oh, it's so thin, but it's totally plastic, which means if I spill my drink on it.
Yep. That happened to me the other day. I was sitting here with my tabletop thing, and it just collapsed and knocked my drink all over my cards. And I was like, it is so good. I mean, I didn't even have to like pull them all apart and let them dry. I literally just left them in a stack and they dried out.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. That is such a deck that I need. I can't even tell you. I can't have a drink anywhere near me when I'm reading.
Oh, yeah.
Food around.
Yeah,
I can't forget it. I'm such a klutz.
Paper cards, and forget it one time and they're gone. And like I know like people like to take them to the bar a lot, which is also sort of taboo, but it's like you gotta I actually have a list of everything, or not everything, but a lot of things you can do with plastic cards on my YouTube video from my Kickstarter campaign. If you check out my YouTube, yeah, I have my Kickstarter campaign video up, and it goes through about like 6 or 7 things you can do with plastic cards that are pretty silly.
That's great. So Pat says, Natalie, it's awesome you're in Oregon too. We live in Oregon. Oh, Pat and Sean live in Oregon. They're two of my great admins.
Oh, cool. Where at?
They live near, why do I want to, nope, that's North Carolina. That's Dana. They live now, they've been my admins for a while now. You would think I would know, Pat and Shauna. Help me out.
Anywhere in the Portland area? I live in the Portland area, about 20 miles south. Okay, I don't know where Monroe is.
So it must be a little bit different for sure.
It must be, and I just moved here like 5 years ago, but I don't know much about the eastern side of the state. So, But
I
I live about 20 miles south of Portland, and I love it. It's like I moved here from Montana, so
Oh, nice. It's
I'm
gorgeous
enjoying.
country out there, but a lot of country.
Well, that and it's freezing ass cold, like
Right?
freezing ass cold.
Right? Nice place to visit. I mean, it's just stunningly beautiful, but
It is. It is beautiful, but I feel like it's beautiful here in its own different way because of the lush forestry, which in Montana is very dry, and there's only like certain kinds of trees. But here it's just like, I mean, forest on top of forest on top of forest, and then you can go to the ocean. Like I'm an hour and a half from the ocean,
oh, nice.
and 2 hours from the mountain, from the big mountains like Montana mountains, and they're even more beautiful. And so I love it here. I wouldn't move back. I would like to visit and see some of my friends, but I don't know. We'll see.
Right? It depends. They can come visit you too.
Yeah.
All right. So one of my questions is, I love how all the nights, I'm going to show the nights. All the nights are called Chad, which is hilarious to me. I just love it. So I had to know if Chad was a person in your life that you named him after, or if it was just kind of a composition of a whole bunch of different assholes you had in your life.
Right. Well, are you in my Facebook group, Tarot Mood?
I don't think so. I'm going to have to join.
You have to join. It's really funny. And we have a thing there that no Karens or Chads are allowed. And so Chad is like the male Karen counterpart. And I just think that like knights come across as like assholes sometimes.
Know-it-alls. Yep. In danger. Not too bright.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
And then I call the pages noobs because their youthfulness and just like wanting to be the messengers and get in their hands into things. And so I call them the noobs. Like I'm imagining like the new guy at work, or something like that. Like, right. And then the queens are the queen bitches, because hello, absolutely. Queen bitches. And the kings are the top boys, BOI.
I love it. Oh, they're just great. They really are. I'm telling you.
I get stoned and I write this shit up. Like I just
love it. Oh, I love it. That is just awesome because they are hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
They make me laugh. And I was saying, just with the COVID stuff going on now, it's so nice to have a deck that just is lighter and gives you something. Even if you get like a 3 of Swords card, you're like, oh God, but it gives you something to laugh at.
Yeah, even the death card.
Right? Which we so needed.
The tower is funny for me because I actually had a tower moment last year where I had this home in the woods. It was deep and thick in the woods. It was a beautiful little witch's cabin, and they sold the property, and we had to move out. And it was my tower moment, right? But see, on the card, it says that tower was probably full of black mold and coke-thieving ghosts anyway. And I swear the place had mold in the walls. I didn't see any mold, but I swear like I had this really bad acne that went away completely when I moved out of there, and several other things. And then like my son was seeing like aliens and ghosts in his closet, which he stopped completely after we moved. And I'm like, dude, that is exactly that card.
That's not. Yes. Oh, there are so many of these cards that I just love these cards. Where is? I love the 3 of Cups. That's one of my favorites. There's so many in this deck that I just stop and have to laugh hysterically.
Oh, now I can see the comments. Okay, cool. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's okay. If all the way to the right there, it should be live comments, and then
I found them. It just will only let me see them if I am not looking at you. I can only see one or the other, so I probably won't be looking in the comments. But you let me know if I need to answer
that's
anything.
good. Yeah, I'll let you know when we have questions here.
But I saw that somebody dated a Chad, and they said that's true. So
yep. Yes, we've all had the Chad type, even if they weren't Chads by name.
Yeah, another one is like the Chariot, Brad the manager. I feel like Brad is another one. My mom dated a Brad, and he was like,
yes, absolutely,
always on, cocaine and
right, for sure. Yep, absolutely.
Definitely, Brad is definitely a manager.
yes, absolutely. I love that you made some of these white people, the all RWSs were all white. I love that you put some inclusion in the deck and had some, different races in here.
Absolutely. I wouldn't do it any other way. And I did the same in my next deck as well. So thank you.
Yay. So we are getting a couple questions about any plans for a volume 2 deck. Well, as a matter of fact, she is having another deck come out. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your new deck coming out?
Okay. So as far as mood goes, I may do an Oracle next year. That'll be after I write the book for it. So because the Oracle will need a book on its own. I may skip the book on the mood and just do an Oracle with a book. Because I think that I make fun of oracles a lot, but I think a lot of people have been asking me for one. So, we'll see. So keep an eye out for that. You guys can Facebook friend me on Natalie Meraki on Facebook if you want to keep track of what I'm putting out. But because I don't know. Also, if you get into the Tarot Mood Facebook group, that's a good place to keep on top of stuff, because otherwise it's really easy to miss stuff.
Yep.
But anyway, the other deck that I have coming up is the Young Witch deck, which is totally different. So this is for kids. Okay, so
love it. There are not enough decks out there for kids.
Yeah, well, it's also waterproof, and it is a friend of mine, Bob Smoothies, and I have got together on it, and I don't have any cards to show you yet because they're being printed right now. But we'll be doing a Kickstarter soon, so if you want to make sure you get a Kickstarter notification on this one, go to ywtarot.com and there's a sign up. But so he did these like 4-line poems that help you remember. They're really cute little poems. They help you remember the card meaning, and they go on each card. So there's the drawing, which I redid the RWS line art on this one as well. Like in the mood deck, I just recolored it. In this one, I redid the line art and recolored it. And then I put the little poems down on the bottom, and they're in a really pretty book box, the kind that clasp over, and they have red foil, and they have a booklet that he wrote that's really good. The booklet is excellent, the guidebook.
Hey. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. So if you want to keep, that'll be kickstarting in late July if we're lucky. The only thing about China is they always lie to me on times. Like they say, the printing and the fulfillment center, they say, oh, this will happen, and then it'll be a week later, a month later, or whatever. So I'm just waiting.
Most people who do Kickstarter, though, know that
that's going to happen.
It happens, and you just kind of roll.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for the sample deck to arrive, and then I'm going to start the Kickstarter. And so, like I said, go to YW, which is for Young Witch Tarot, .com. And yeah.
So do you consider yourself a witch?
I didn't used to, because I just considered myself more of a tarot reader. And then I felt like I'm into stuff like artificial intelligence and things like that, but not so much into like the old witchcraft, and I don't really do spells. But the more that I've got to experience other people who consider themselves witches and the stuff that they do that I feel like I do too, I realize I think I am sort of a witch.
We're getting you out of the closet.
Yeah. Well, I have I did children's books before this, and so I didn't even mention any of my tarot work at all or anything until this year, until I had my Kickstarter, and I was like, okay, now I have to come out and tell everybody that I'm doing tarot and all
Yeah.
this, because I have to tell everybody so they come support me. So
Right.
that's when I came out, and I was like, well, it was fine with me. I'm used to being the weirdo, so I'm used to being, people see.
Perfect.
Yeah, I was just like, whatever. Yeah, I'm a big old weirdo.
Yay!
Weirdo witch.
All of us witches are. It's okay. If you're a witch, that we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That is great. That is great. So, what was I? Hold on. Let's see here. We have had a couple questions here. Going to put it on my list for Austin. I know Pat and Shauna's son, Austin, reads tarot, and he's great. He's so cute.
Oh, cool. How old is he?
Perfect. Did he just turn 11?
No, that's perfect.
I think he just turned 11. Can't believe he's that old. Let's see. What do we got? So, trolls. I was going to ask you about trolls. With a tarot deck like this, I imagine that you may have gotten some interesting trolls. And we always, at least on my channel, I always say if you're getting trolls, that means you're making a difference and people are you're a threat.
Yeah.
So, good troll stories for us.
Gosh, like for the most part, no. I'm surprised at how much people just, if they don't like it, they just scroll. Like if I post something crazy in a group outside of my own, I expect to get some people that like, what is this, And for the most part, I don't even get like any angry reactions or sad reactions or anything like that. And when I do get a troll, I just leave the comment alone, and then I come back and check later and see how everybody else has jumped their ass and like totally taken care of it for me. And so I'm like, I don't have to say anything. That took care of that. Or I'll mess with them, like be like, oh yeah, this deck is disgusting. Who made this crap? Oh, like I like to mess with people like that sometimes and just go along with it, or
That's great. I'd say I love most of my trolls. I try to get trolls to at least be interesting, because if you're going to say the same old boring thing, you're fat. No, yeah, try it again. That one's been done. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe people do that.
They have nothing better to do, apparently. So how long have you said 8 years you've been reading tarot about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Do you read for other people, like professionally, or?
I'm not right now, just because I just don't feel like it. So like pretty much since I published my deck, and I've been busy with the business side of that, and also making this new deck, I'm busy with my artistry, and my business. And so I just don't feel like taking 30 minutes it's like, I feel like there's always, even though tarot is so accurate and it's so amazing how accurate it is, I still have that anxiety every time. Like, is this going to be right? And I don't even know why I have that anymore, because it always is. And there's only been like a few times where somebody's just giving me like a stone cold face,
Right.
Or been like, I don't know, if that's right or
I know
not.
what you're talking
Usually,
about.
most of the time, people are like, oh my God, yes, that's exactly what's happening. But so when I stopped doing tarot readings, it was sort of a lift of anxiety for me. So I'm not doing them anytime soon, probably. I feel bad too, because my landlord always wants a reading, and I'm always like, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
Don't kick me out.
It's funny, isn't it? Every time I actually just quit my job, and I'm working in a metaphysical shop now, which is like, the dream.
Yeah.
But I used to do mammography. And so once everybody figured out that I was a witch who did tarot, then the line would go around the door, and I'd be like, I have to do patients. I need to do this. Jen, can you do a reading for me today? Yes. All right, I'll do a reading, but I'm here for a job,
Right. What's mammography?
Everybody. Once they know you're a tarot reader, everybody starts lining up.
Yeah, and it's a good problem to have too. I pass off my readings to my friends because they need them,
Right.
and want them. So I always just pass them down. I'm the tarot reading Santa. Here, friends, gifts for all.
Do you have a favorite tarot card?
Oh gosh, let's see. I love the Six of Cups in my deck. That's my favorite in my deck, I think. And that is remember what it's like to be a child, and the other one says no. Or remember how great it is to be a child, and the other one's like no. But yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
But in a regular, I don't think I have a favorite. Nothing's coming to mind, and I've never really thought of anything like that as in a regular deck that's my favorite. I mean, of course, like in each deck, I have my favorite card, but not one that's my favorite across the board. So, do you have a favorite?
Do I have? I think for me, it's you always have that card that you look for when you get a new deck, and mine is always the Nine of Swords. The Nightmare card to me, it can be interpreted really cool. Like some creators are really interesting about how they create that card and what they portray in it. So that's one that I really like to take a look at. I'm a huge Libra, so justice is always a big one for me. I got to see how they portray justice, but it's I really, the Nine of Swords, not that I like to see it come up, but it's an interesting card, and it can be done so cool. If Jen has 78 favorites, yes, I know, Stephen. Shush. Carol on Tuesday nights, and every time we get to a card, I'm like, I really love this card. This is why they all make fun of me. This is your favorite card, right? Yes, I know.
I love to check out the devil art in the different decks. It's always pretty good.
That's another one that can be really cool too, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a significator card? Like, is there a card that you always pull out to represent yourself?
No, I don't do the significator cards, but I would say, as cliche as this is, being an Aries and everything, I have to say Queen of Wands, because she really does like depict me in so many ways. But I know that's cliche. Like everybody says Queen of Wands or like Empress.
Well, I know I say, well, it depends on the day too, but I say Queen of Swords all the time, which people laugh at because I'm so not bitchy for the most part, unless you get on my bad side.
Right.
But yeah, what are you gonna do? That's all right. Do you collect decks? Do you have a lot of decks? How many tarot decks do you have?
I do have let's see, I have I just sold like 6 of them because they were decks that I bought early on in my journey, and they were like a little too love and light for me, like the Star Child deck I just sold, and like my RWS Centennial in a tin because I thought it was pointless. But I've been bringing in some new decks to replace those that I feel like match my personality more. Like I got the Modern Witch deck because I thought that I really liked the artwork in it. I got the Salvador Dali deck is coming to me. I got the Arcane Bullshit deck. And it was nice because I got to trade all mood decks for all of these. So I basically got all of these for a cost of a mood deck.
Yay! That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I still want the Groovy Tarot. And I just ordered the Yoshitari. It was called Fairy Tale Tarot as she was working on it, but now it's called something else, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's on pre-order.
Divine.
Yeah.
I
the Divine Tarot.
Too.
Yeah.
Divine. Yeah, maybe just the Divine Tarot.
I think maybe
something like that. Yeah. I've
so
been
beautiful
for a long time, just waiting for it to come out. I can't wait.
Yeah. And so I'd say I have about 20 decks probably.
Is there one card you dread pulling in a reading?
Well, I feel really bad when I pull the 10 of Swords or the 3 of Swords. Like, I feel really bad to tell people, like, well, even the Three of Swords I think is worse, because I feel like the Ten of Swords to me usually has like already happened, and the Three of Swords like leaves a lot more room for like, you gonna get betrayed, bitch. You know? I feel so bad for you. I'm sorry, but you better watch out. Like, you better get ready to get paranoid.
Yeah. Let's see. Shauna asked Austin, who is the 11-year-old, has been working on his own deck. How did your first deck get published?
Oh, cool. Well, I had to do it myself. So that's and that's partly why it's so expensive too. I didn't get picked up by a big publisher. I had to pay for it and only order small amounts at a time. And I did a Kickstarter. So what you have to do is write up your story and have, order a sample of the deck and get pictures of it to put in the Kickstarter, and you have to make a video. And what I did is I went to backerkit.com and read their blogs, and their blogs go through and show everybody what things are successful and what things aren't successful on Kickstarter. And they'll show you actual, there's an article about it, and then there's links to show you the actual pages you can go in and see. And I feel like that gave me a lot of success in my Kickstarter, because I reached my goal on my first day. And yeah, and I was like so scared before I started. I was worried sick that I wasn't going to reach my goal at all. And I ended up doing 270% of my goal. So yeah, like if he gets on there with some good pictures of his deck and a good video and showing like, hey, I'm a kid and I made this deck, people are going to be like, wow, And the other thing is to like build a following now. Start a Facebook group. Like for my new deck, well, for the Tarot Mood deck, as soon as I started doing the cards, I started a Facebook group, and it's called Tarot Mood, and that is got 6,000 followers now. And those are people that I can advertise to all day, because it's my group. And like I have a rule that anybody can advertise once a week. It just has to be funny, and so I try to also abide by those rules. At least always make it funny, because I want my group to be fun and funny. And then I did the same thing with my Young Witch Tarot that's coming out. Started a group, and it's got 800 members, and I just started it a few months ago. And that's in that group, I'm posting, look what I made today. Here's what we did today. Here's what came out today. Like
the creation.
The process. Yeah. And people feel really, into it at that point. So when the deck comes out, they're like, I helped make this deck, basically,
They're invested already. Yeah.
They're invested. Yeah. So that's another tip for.
That's great.
And if they need a printer, have them Facebook message me, and I can help you out with a printer. So.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because I've heard horror stories from some creators about.
Have you?
For it, and I know Avalon. I don't know if you know Avalon, but Bonestone and Earthflash. She's had a million things go wrong, poor thing. But it was supposed to come out December of 2018. So, and we still haven't seen it, poor thing.
No!
But she had a whole lot of, she lives in Australia, and there was the bushfires, and her uncle died in front of her, and it's like all this horrible stuff has happened since the creation, and it's coming. I know we're close now, and then COVID happened. It was like, oh my gosh, give me a break.
Oh my God. Wow.
So, yep. She's not the only one. I've heard quite a few horror stories that you're just like, oh my gosh. And I know people worry a lot about the copyright thing.
Like what about like somebody's gonna
well, because China, they've had a hard time. Some of the deck printers in China will steal the images and then create knockoffs.
Well, I feel comfortable with my printer because they've done a lot of decks that everybody knows, and none of those decks have come out as knockoffs yet.
Yay.
But I have seen that, like when you go on Wish.com or even some on Amazon, like the Wildwood Tarot, you can get it for like $9, and then when you get it, a friend of mine did that, and when he got it, the cards were not the same at all. Like they were small and framed, and it was like this.
So you don't get a book and
chintzy little, and And he's like, hey, you should send me your Wildwood Tarot. I'm like, hey now.
No.
I'm not the idiot that bought the knockoff for $9. What did you think you were getting?
Right. Matt asks, what's your favorite deck aside from your own?
Gosh, let's see. I have new decks, so I'm scanning my mind for what I have that's my favorite. I think I have Mystical Cats.
Oh, I've seen. That's one I don't have. I've seen a couple images though. It looks
It's
cute.
a very mainstream tarot deck, and you know that sells for $20 with the big old book and everything at any metaphysical store in the world. But
Right?
I just love it. Like that's my like deck that. And then my first deck ever was Cat's Eye Tarot, and that would probably be another one of my favorites because I just love the artwork. And I know my new favorite is going to be the Yoshi Yoshitani when it comes in. That's gonna.
Gosh, it's so gorgeous. I've been following her deck for years, waiting for it to come out.
Yeah, me too. A couple of years. I remember seeing just the artwork and her selling the prints and everything. And it's like, people are asking me, like, why don't you do your own artwork? Why don't you stop using the RWS? And it's like, well, for one, I like the RWS for learn. What I do is edutainment. It's like learner decks, okay, for adults and for kids. And the RWS has all the symbolism that you need to learn on, right?
Yep.
And then and then I feel like you can go on to the other decks, but it is also intuitive. It's not all completely to do with symbolism. And so sometimes for people, it's better for them to have these decks that has the artwork that they connect with intuitively. And so, you know, I don't even remember what I was talking about.
Oh, honey, you are in the right spot. That's why they call me Mama Squirrel. I'm like, wait, what? Where was I? What was I talking about?
But I think to answer the question, definitely that Yoshi Yoshitani one. Oh, yeah, there's something about the artwork in that one that's just like, it's like dark but still colorful.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Is there a card you rarely pull that you like hardly ever pull out of the deck when you're reading?
Actually, I was just thinking of this. That is so weird. I never pull the Seven of Swords.
Wow, really?
I pulled it in a reading and I was like, whoa, I never get this card. I don't know if I've ever pulled this card. I don't think I ever pulled the Empress either, which would be really fun, especially like for a pregnancy reading, as silly as those are, you know, like,
right?
Wouldn't it be cool just one time, like, am I pregnant? And you pull the Empress. Yes, you are.
Right? Right.
Or the sun.
Danny asked, do you have a favorite crystal you use when you do readings? Are you a crystal person? Do you have crystals around you?
Like, I have this bowl of crystals that I bought like as trinkets over the years. It's like the bowl of shame because I always look at it and I'm like, why? I don't think the crystals are supposed to live in a bowl like that. I think you're supposed to get them out and use them and like. So,
have it. Yeah.
But I did just order 30 crystal penises.
Hey, love it.
That I'm gonna give away. I'm gonna give away with a mood deck. So
that's awesome. Absolutely. We are big proponents of crystal decks here. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the funny thing is too, like, because I put dick glitter in the boxes when I first started sending them out, and I was looking everywhere for penis glitter. I couldn't find penis glitter, you know, like anywhere. And then I look up dick glitter, and all of a sudden there's like 10 listings. I'm like, what? Like, so much for the appropriate terms.
Love it.
There's no penis glitter, but there's plenty of dick glitter to be had.
Oh yeah, the anatomy lesson. Just perfect.
And then I'd have people send me pictures of like a little piece of dick glitter in their hand. They're like, "Did you send dick glitter in this box?" I'm like, "Yes."
Hello. Do you know me yet? Yes. So, any other questions, guys? Natalie said she'd do a couple readings. I'm going to show a couple more of the cards. I love that one. They're just hilarious.
Thank you.
I just love these. Really, you guys go and get yourself a copy because this day and age, this is what we need is to laugh some. I mean, really, Helicopter Parent of the Year award. That is just awesome. I just love it.
I'm always glad when like some of them I feel like are just hilarious and some of them I feel like aren't quite as funny compared to the others. And so I'm always really glad when people like the ones that I think are not as funny because then I'm like, oh, good, they're all funny.
They are. They are all funny. And it's, I have to say too, it's funny. It depends on the day you're having. When I first went through it, I was like, oh yeah, there were some that I was like, oh, this is hilarious. And some that I was like, I don't really get it. And then a couple days later, I go through again and I'd be like, oh wait, I get this one because yes, I've had that kind of day today.
Right. And a lot of them sometimes are quotes. Like I have Anchorman quotes, Mean Girl quotes, Monty Python and the Holy Grail quotes. Like,
yeah.
So if you don't get that, or like songs, like Turn Down for What on the Nine of Cups, that's a song, people, like a lot of people are like, what does that mean? So that one that you just showed, the Let's Go Get That Dick, that was the first one that I ever did. That was the first, yeah. Because I was thinking my daughter, she's like a really good girl, so she can say this, and I laugh about it because she's just, it's so out of character for her. But I was like, hey, do you want to go to the store? She's like, yeah, Mom, let's go get that dick. She's like 15 years old. I'm like, what? I laughed so hard. And so when I thought of that, when I was listening to that card description, I was like, let's go get that dick.
That's great. I love The Hermit. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, look, another rabbit hole.
Yeah. Oh, I can't tell you how many of those I dive down a day.
Oh, yeah. Man, I hear you. Me too. It's going on. And I only have 20% battery life stuff too. That sucks. But I get going down, mostly a lot of stuff about like artificial intelligence and things like that. And I'm like, okay, like it's just one video to the next or one book after the next, depending on what I'm doing that day. Like I can't do mixed videos and books in one day. I have to do videos one day and books another day, but I just cannot stop. And then I'm like, all of a sudden 8 hours has gone by and I'm like,
Where am I? I hear you. I have my Pinterest page. I warn people all the time. Be careful when you go on my Pinterest page. It is a rabbit hole. Yes. So, yay! I'm so glad Cassie said that. So the shop that I work at, the owner actually, Cassie, is on here.
Oh, hi, Cassie.
Asking if maybe she can carry them in her shop.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
You have a wholesale option on there, right?
Yeah, on my website, taramood.com/deck. There's a wholesale button. You can buy 10. And that's free shipping. So
yay! It is. It's such a great deck. And I have to say the Riffle Shuffle. Oh,
I love the shuffle.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about like killing your deck, and it's just a great deck. It really is.
Yeah, it's so funny, like the way you were showing how they seem kind of flimsy because they're plastic. This girl was doing a live opening, and like an unboxing, and she didn't know that they were plastic, and she's like, why is this paper so thin? She was so upset. She just like went on for like 30 minutes. I ended up kind of trolling her, like I was joking with her on her account, so much that she took down that. She took down the whole video.
I think I did that at first too. When I first pulled it out, I was like, oh wait, it's plastic. All right, yay!
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so now when people are going to do, if I can catch them before they do it, hopefully they've read about the deck and know, but if they don't, then hopefully I try to catch them and let them know that the cards are plastic to avoid another that happening where that girl was like, what is wrong with these cards?
I know, it's so thin. I know. Well, I have to say, it's funny. I had never heard of your deck, and I am a huge deck collector. Like, I have way, way, way too many.
How many do you have?
Tarot alone, I haven't. I'm getting ready to move, so I've kind of packed up some of mine, so I haven't really counted in a while. But I bet you I have close to 200 tarot alone.
Wow, that's great! How exciting!
But I had never heard of your deck, and I'm a Kickstarter person too, so I was like, "Damn it, how did I miss this?" I actually saw someone post one image on Instagram and hunted it down.
Oh, how cool!
And I was like, what is this deck? I have to this is an actual deck. I can't believe, where is it? I must have it.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm telling you, were so fast. I got it like within days. I think it was Thursday or Friday or something. And Tuesday, I think it was in my hand. I'm like, yes!
Oh, let me tell you, I get excited about sales. Like, I always have my phone in my hand or nearby me, and as soon as I get a sale, I'm like shipping it, getting my shipping label, getting it all together, like make sure it goes out in the mail. Like as soon as I love when somebody orders before the mail comes, because I know I get to send their deck out that day, and like that's so fun for me. I don't lollygag at all on the deck sending. I'm like. And it killed me when after my Kickstarter, I was sending all the dicks from the dicks from my fulfillment center, and that was taking like 6 to 8 weeks, and people were constantly messaging me like, where's my deck, and I'm sorry, I'm trying. Yeah. And so then I just started sending them from home and only using the fulfillment center for international orders, which has been great because they expect them to take a long time internationally anyway. Right. And I just send them from home, and it's way cheaper and way faster. So now I try to add something cute, either if it's dick glitter or dick crystal or something like that.
Gotta love it. Yay. All right. Wait, Cassie. Oh yeah, I think she lost count at over 200 tarot alone. Yeah, I know. I'll count them again when I move. 3 weeks. I move in 3 weeks. So
how exciting.
It is actually Cassie, the owner of where I work, they offered me a job and I took it right away and was so excited because really it's my dream. I was going to own my own. But I love Cassie and her, well, gosh, Cass, I don't know what to call Scott now. Her soon-to-be ex-father-in-law run it together. And I absolutely adore them both. So working for them means I can do all kinds of stuff in their shop that I wanted to do anyways. And I don't have to carry any of the expense of having your own shop.
Yeah, that's great. Good is a lot. The business side is a lot of work. You get to have all the fun.
Absolutely. We all blame Mama for tarot and crystals. I know. Crystal skulls. I'm a big crystal skull person. So they all have followed in my footsteps, and I'm constantly getting them to buy more.
I plugged in, my phone was dying, so I had to unplug my earphone, but can you still hear me okay?
Yep, we can still hear you.
Okay.
Tarot and crystal pusher, yes. All right, so Natalie's going to do a couple of readings. Just one card, simple readings, guys, right?
Yeah, I just do one card. I just go through them real fast, so everybody line up.
All right, Danny. I saw Danny say he wants a reading.
Okay, Danny. And if anybody asks questions, cool. If not, I just do a general.
Cool.
So you got the world reversed, so that means that you're drunk. You've probably been doing a bunch of drinking during your quarantine period.
I love it.
I mean, we can all laugh, but tell me if I'm right. I always just throw it out there. One time I was like just threw into a tarot reading. I'm like, I just had this like idea to say like, and you're pooping right now. And they're like, I'm literally on the toilet right now.
Oh, that's great. I see Witchy in the Woods says, me, please.
Okay. Okay, so you got the 8 of Pentacles, diligently filling orders for the Dark Lord. So you probably been like the essential employee. These are like quarantine readings I'm doing today.
Right?
You're probably like either that or you've been just like using this time to go at like all of your honey-do lists that you've written.
I love it. Tammy Pie, me.
I think I know Tammy Pie from Instagram.
Hey.
One of my regulars, unless it's a different Tammy Pie. Okay, so you got the Nine of Swords reversed. So so upright it would be, did I leave the oven on? And so you're not too worried about that. You know what's going on your oven. You probably are like cooking dinner right now as we speak.
The house burns down. Fuck it. Donna Taylor, reading, please.
Who's that?
Donna Taylor.
Okay, here you go. You have the moon, or as otherwise called Crazy Town. Oh, I see a road trip in your future. Probably at night with bad company. Maybe some cocaine.
Perfect.
I always say the moon is the cocaine card.
Cassie, Cassandra Moonfeather.
Okay. Oh, Three of Swords reversed though, so yay. That means you're doing the betraying.
Very good, very good. Ben Burris. I love my Ben.
Ace of Mind Bullets. So the Mind Bullets are, I don't know if anybody watches Tenacious or has heard any Tenacious D with Jack Black and Kyle Gass, but they.
I totally did not get that until just now. I cannot believe I didn't get that. Oh my gosh.
Bullets.
My kids are going to kill me.
So you've got you've got some new ideas and you're not going to be shy about them. You're just going to telekinesis them right to the people's heads and
He can totally do that. He's brilliant. Jolene would love one.
Okay.
You tell me how many you want to do because we've got them lining up.
Okay, let me see. We're at 51 minutes, so let's just do till an hour.
Sounds good.
Let me get a drink of water.
Go right ahead.
Oh, I didn't shuffle. Just pulled the same card right off the top of the deck.
Sometimes that happens, but you know.
Okay, so here you got the Five of Cups, and so basically this dude's like, he's like, oh my God, you guys, I suck, because he killed his 3 friends. But the other 2 cups, like, can you see the tower, the castle for empowered women back there? That's the strip club. They want to go to the strip club with him. So I'd say, hey, quarantine orders are lifting. You might want to hit up some seedy place. Go get you some coronavirus, some Rona.
Go on, get some.
Get a strip to cough on you.
Jackie Malik, me please.
Who's this one for?
Jackie Malik.
Jackie Malik. Okay, you got the Helicopter Parent of the Year award. You're probably like homeschooling like 6 kids right now.
Well, I'm so glad my kids are grown. I was saying that during this shit. I'm like, oh my God. I would no. I have 4 boys. I would kill myself. That'd be it.
Oh yeah. I have one boy in the house. He's 4.5 and he is driving me nuts. And like, luckily he's in school and he's in preschool, so he only goes 3 hours 3 times a week, so it's not very much. But still, like, I treasure those
that time. Please go to school.
Like,
oh God, I would kill myself. Susie the Gemini, reading. Thank you. Love your glasses.
Oh, thank you. I just ordered new ones too, but I was like, I'm gonna wear these in my lives because people seem to always like them in my lives.
Cute.
So you got the Seven of Wands, and I'd say you're probably taking on a lot right now with your family, probably at home. You probably have like a bunch of kids driving you batshit crazy.
Estelle Miller. Poor Estelle. Oh my goodness, Estelle, I have totally screwed you, haven't I? I've gone from one deck at the beginning of last year to about 20. I must have enabled really hard on you, huh?
Oh my god. Whoop. Okay, this one's for Estelle. Okay, so you got the Six of Wands reversed. So he's like, super happy to be up on his high horse. Look at his horse's face, though. His horse's face.
Screw you, you jackass.
So, it's reversed, so don't celebrate right now. It's not over for you. Something else is going to go bad.
Not quite done yet, Estelle. Hang on.
Soon enough.
Jack.
Soon enough.
Jack, J.K. Jack. Me, please.
Okay. Oh, you got the Noob of Dick Sticks reversed. No dick for you. No dick for you.
None for you. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Okay. My thing jumped. I had to go backwards. All right.
Your thing jumped when I said dick.
Yep, it went crazy. Kristen Cat's Eye. I would like 1, 2, please.
Okay. You got the sun, and the kid is saying, "Mom, mommy, mom, mama, mom," and the kid's like, "Yeah," or the son is like, "Yeah, love kids. Yep, love them."
Yep, they're just fucking great.
Oh no, you're like the third person in these readings that's got a kid's annoying the crap out of you right now.
Yeah, it seems to be going around a lot during COVID.
Yeah, I can understand that. Kids and like spouses. Like I live with my son's dad, and he was driving me so freaking crazy, and I got used to it. About month 2, I started getting used to him being around all the time, and then he went to work, and I was like, oh, I forgot how wonderful this is.
Alone time.
So well behaved. Like he puts on a real brat show for dad. He wants all of his attention and acts like a brat all the time. And then as soon as his dad's gone, he's all sweet and does whatever I say. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, right? Nice.
Okay.
Kylie. I would love a reading.
Okay. The Fool reversed. So she's probably out wearing her mask and being safe. We're probably grocery shopping with blue rubber gloves. Because I would imagine the Fool is probably out around with no mask. You know what I mean? That just seems like some shit.
Absolutely.
You're playing it safe. You're doing good. Good job.
Yes. Ravenheart, which is Bob Burrisworth. May I please have 1, 2, please? Oh, you're so polite right now, Bob.
So polite. All right, what do we have for Bob? Oh, my favorite, the Six of Cups. Yay, so yeah, you probably feel like quarantined with a family member, maybe one that you didn't always get along with. Like maybe you're like asshole twin brother or something like that. I know that's really detailed, but I'm just imagining like the brothers and stepbrothers, that movie. Like, that's how you're getting along with your family members.
No. Amanda Rybars. I'd like a reading.
Okay, you got a lot. How many watchers do we have?
31 right now. At least that's what my thing says. That it's not always right on StreamYard, unfortunately, but
oh, we got the sun again. So
yay.
Yep.
Amanda. Yep. Home with kids and loving it.
And the sun is a great card though. I just think like if it's got anything to do with children, it's an annoying card. If it's just like to cast a radiant glow over your reading, then it's fantastic.
All right, let's do one more. Cynthia Newberry, you're the last one.
Cynthia!
Yeah.
I yelled your name as I shuffled the cards, so it's in there now. Okay, so you got the Three of Pentacles reversed. You're probably waiting, either you're having a shitty work situation or you're waiting to go back to work. And like, I always see this guy as like the one that's in charge of them. He's always like, I guess, like I read somewhere that he really appreciates these two new people that he has to work with because his last team was like not very good to work with. And so like that's how I read this card. And it says, "Thank fuck you guys are here. My last team was a bunch of dumb dicks."
All right. We have two more total, and then I think that's it. So we'll finish off the last two. I know Shauna said City Raven, SITTI, City Raven. And then Ed, you'll be the last one.
Okay, so I already have 3 damn crybabies. Get that thing away from me. And basically, like, probably somebody's trying to knock you up, but you're not interested because you already got 3 kids to feed. And they stop the stimulus checks at 3 kids. You only get up to 3 kids, honey. So that's good. You don't need the 4th. They're worthless.
You don't need it. No. Tell it to go away. Ed, you get the last one.
Okay, last one. Oh, you got let's go get that dick again. But this one, it's time it's upright. You getting some dick. Is this girl that I read for? Whatever that means to you.
Time to pull out the lotion, Ed. I know you.
Does that resonate with you?
All right. So you guys, I thank you for joining us so much. Make sure you tune in to she's got a YouTube channel, which I know Pat listed there. I will put all of her other links in the down bar. Her where you can get the deck is already in the down bar, but I will put it once it loads, re-uploads. I'll put all the rest of her links in the down bar for the Facebook pages and the YouTube page, and keep an eye out. And Natalie, you're on our page now. Let me know when your new Kickstarter is going live, and we'll make sure we promote the heck out of that. And I can't wait to see a kids deck. That should be awesome.
And for anybody that orders today, let me know if you'd like your deck signed. You can just email me. My email is on my website, or you can Facebook message me and let me know if you'd like your deck signed, like Mama Squirrel's is. Yeah, it's an easy thing for me to do, and I'll probably make them worth more someday. So let me know if you want that.
That's right. When you're famous. Woohoo! All right, guys, click that like button for me so we get more views, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.